leaves, both might leave, depending on the results at the end of the day.
Yes, a reminder that if Shopify win, they have Lion ahead of them. If Dignitas get one more game, they have Team Liquid ahead of them, who have also
best
shown...
of one decider to see who makes it. So if Dignitas knocks it, if Palafox and Dignitas knock out Shopify and TL on the same day, holy
If
crap.
TL and Shopify are the two teams that don't make it, all of the power rankings. And I'm going to put everybody that put TL first in my same category.
Fair. No,
At that
that's
point,
fair.
Those are the two that did make it. That'd be crazy.
You're gonna bring everyone down with you.
Yeah, yeah, that's my strat, actually. Yeah. I'm not alone. Taliyah and Yunara locked in here for Dignitas. And it's going to be Lucian, Nami, quick locked in for Shopify Rebellion. Heavy focus on this bottom side. It can win lanes, but it can also scale very well into the game. And that means Lulu plus Yunara.
Yeah, so Dignitas trying to match Enchanter with Enchanter. I will say I'm a big fan of Bvoy, Seos, Lucian, Nami. I think they are really good on it. And I believe Seos' all-time win rate on Nami is also very high.
I know that Bvoy, this was like one of the most played champions. It was Lucian and it was Ezreal were like his top two throughout last year. So something that they are very comfortable with. And I think when your backs are against the wall, going back to comfort also can be a recipe for success. That means that we're going to have junglers and top laners, though, for the second rotation here. As Photon's had a fantastic split so far. Even in all their losses, I felt like Photon individually, I never saw him really lose lane. He was always ahead individually, and now he just kind of did that again into Fudge. Like, Fudge did not have a great game one, and meanwhile, Photon, I don't know if I believe he died one time, maybe twice, but he went deathless for a large portion of that game and was just a wall.
I mean, really good Scion play, which is exactly what the team needed. A lot of times, Photon is a little bit of a win lane player, and then the team falls apart around him, but this time he was a neutralized lane player, and then he brought the team with him in team fights, which is ultimately what you need to do.
But this time around, we'll not get to play Scion for Photon. Also banning away things like the Zahin, the Malphite, the Wukong, and the Gwen on the other side. So some jungle, some top lane picks. Saving counter pick for Photon. He's got a very unique champ pool, especially when it comes to AP champions. The Gwen is his favorite. He's played things like Kennen as well. So I do love saving counter pick for Photon. I think it's a great tool for Dignitas, and they're going to do just that. Xin Zhao for eXyu.
And I think they're also kind of forced into it since this Ryze is a flex pick for Shopify. They need to see their best guess of where these laners will be going. I think it's a bit of a tough game for something like a Gwen or a Kennen just because it's a lot of AP, but you know Xin Yunara can probably balance it out, so he'll be able to pick really whatever he wants to win the lane. And with Ksante locked in, that's a Ryze mid.
Ryze mid, Ksante top, Qiyana in the jungle. High execution assassin 80 jungler. Contractz does like this pick. We've seen it already. I remember week one we saw a Qiyana. I believe it's Hambach.
Yeah, we've seen two Qiyanas. Hambach and Griffin have both played it.
There we go, yep. So not new to the LCS, but not one of the most popular picks. I do like seeing it, and it is going to be Poppy as the counter pick for Photon. So just accepting that handshake of tank matchups with Poppy. Very strong against a lot of the dashes, things like Lucian, Qiyana, and even Ksante. It's going to be hard to get through that steadfast presence.
I think it's a really good pick for the game. They already have Enchanter and a lot of damage. They succeeded with him on a tank last game. And when played well, the Poppy does beat the Ksante. It's a counter pick if you've really studied the matchup. So we'll see how Photon can do in this game. And I really love it against Ksante, Qiyana, and Lucian to be able to engage and disengage.
And you're against, Qiyana as a jungler topside. I guess you're still probably building mostly health early against Ksante. You're not really worried about like damage there, but yeah, we'll see what the build goes for Photon. I just trust this guy in anything. I'm turning into Photon's #1 believer, I think, on the broadcast. Every time I get to cast games, I've casted every Dignitas game, actually, so far this year. I feel like Photon, just the amount of decisions I've seen him make and the amount of times that he has saved his team from a specific play that was about to go wrong, he's just impressed me so much. Even though the team had been winless up to this point, this is the first game win that they're coming off of. I still just think that getting him something that he can have agency on, really, really good for Dignitas across the whole.
For sure, this is where Dignitas wants to begin their rise in the early season pros that Palafox was on. He said the team's goal was to go to Worlds. That's what he thinks this team is capable of doing. That is not what most other people think, but the beginning of that would be if he can 2-0 his former team Shopify here and eliminate them from lock-in.
Game 2 of Shopify Rebellion versus Dignitas, and a rare early 4-champ invade down bot side here.
Also, both wards from Shopify used already in lane. Wow. They really want to battle over lane prio with Lucian Nami here.
You know what this tells me is I feel like something must have happened in the scrim at some point between Shopify and Dignitas when they see something like this. It's very rare to see both used, and they're still scrapping right now as Bvoy and Seos actually get more damage onto FBI right there. Yunara is sneakily strong with the passive early on and Arc of Judgment, but not going to go for the early all-in trades.
Yeah, but huge fist fighting. That's heal burn from Nami. That's barrier burn from FBI. Actually, I love even carries using barrier for early trades.
Heal early from Ignar, and FBI just pushes further onto Bvoy. These two are scrapping for that early push, and it is FBI and Ignar. They get the better of it.
Well, interesting though, eXyu starting bot side, so he'll be pathing up, and then Shopify is going to have their jungler pathing down towards them. But also note that Shopify used all their wards in lane, so they actually are not really able to push up much further because they'd be in danger of a gank. They have no eyes on where Bvoy or eXyu would have started.
And when a bot lane is playing this aggressively, warning bells are going off, like, okay, something's up maybe. As FBI does hit level 2 earlier, Bvoy now level 2. And the push will continue. So I wonder when Dignitas decide to back off, if they decide to back off, because without their jungler on their side of the map, it's really a bluff if they keep playing aggressive, and there's always the real chance that Contractz could look to impact the lane.
For sure. Dignitas does have wards, though. They didn't use all of their wards in lane, and they might just be taking a quick reset after shoving in the first few waves. So big fistfights in the bottom lane to try and get early lane prio, but now knowing their jungler is pathing away from them, nice time to reset.
Right, going in for that early coal buy. You only need those couple first waves to pick that one up. So FBI happy to say, all right, we played the push. Now I'm going to have that advantage. And Bvoy is currently not going for any kind of aggressive push in response here. So it should just be an advantage to FBI. This is almost like I guess this is very similar to top lane cheater recalls. I've seen top laners do this a lot, and now we're seeing AD carries start to do this more often as well. Yeah,
you can definitely recall more this season with the home guard bonus, getting you back to lane faster. So wave pushing back slowly in for Dignitas right now, as their jungler is topside as well, so they're going to be waiting for this to crash regardless, and it's just a matter of how many minions FBI ends up losing while that wave is crashing.
Next, you will get the top crab. Contractz will get the bottom crab, and right as Contractz gets there, the wave's already getting under turret. So Contractz not even in a position to really impact this. Bvoy will now go for a back as FBI is going to try and pick up all of these minions. And there is a ward in there, so Ignar will stop that. Bvoy getting some big damage onto the Lulu, but FBI now says, okay, that's all your cooldowns. I can trade back onto you. Seos, though, keeping Bvoy safe, and that's a lot of health bar missing from FBI and Ignar.
And what a satisfying sound when Yunara has the Q running.
Yeah.
Lane gank, maybe.
Could be from eXyu.
Rather ambitious, I mean.
Yeah, you really have to look for a flash when becomes lightning maybe to get in range. Otherwise, the moment that you're seeing, although Shopify Rebellion are walking up, now eXyu's shown, and there it is! The flash W onto Seos, response flash, but FBI still has the damage. eXyu with the first blood, but Bvoy will trade one back. It's a 2-for-1 double kill to eXyu.
They managed to get 2 kills out of that. Normally, you wouldn't try a lane gank without an engaged support, but that's how much of a psychopath Ignar is. He just walks up, polymorphs into eXyu, playing the Fog of War brilliantly, actually getting that kill. It's just, the tragic thing is that FBI died, didn't get any of the kill gold, so after all that happens, Bvoy's actually the one ahead in that lane.
And now Contractz is mid. Not going to find an angle on the Palafox who is positioned correctly. Let's get another look at that. Yeah, because it is eXyu just having to commit flash to start it.
Right when he walks up for a heal trade, eXyu gets in range for the 3-talent strike. But, I mean, FBI following up to get the damage just gets pelted by Bvoy. So Bvoy did a nice job returning fire. Potentially, FBI needed to not follow through there, but the gank, pretty crazy. Dignitas celebrating that in the back room.
And you know that this is FBI getting that first reset for the coal, and then Bvoy presumably will want to go for their own reset. They take a rough trade, so now it's almost like Bvoy and Seos were baited into sticking around. But I'm happy that you pointed out, Bvoy at the end of the day does still have the Caulfields completed, was able to pick up a lot of that CS and that kill gold. So end of the day, it's going to come down to eXyu now trying to use that gold influx that he just received around the map to try and utilize this advantage for Dig.
Yeah, I mean, Xin can be really strong in this game. Relatively short range, people attacking him, so we'll be able to immune a lot of damage and be a very difficult tank to kill. I also love Xin with enchanters, weirdly enough, even though a lot of times you just think that the Lulu's for the AD carry. You can really beef up a Xin with a Lulu.
Remember like Karma mid, Xin Zhao jungle when we used to see stuff like that? Yeah.
Stuff.
Just putting shields and movement speeds on a Xin Zhao can find success. And now a reset comes in from eXyu. He's going for the back. Let's see what he's able to pick up here. Yep, Caulfield's Tunneler. Almost towards that first item completed already. Double kill and also a little ahead of Contractz in the clear speed. Means that eXyu is off to the races. As a jungler who has really struggled to like make a name for himself. When I think about eXyu as a player, I think of, you know, the fact that he had a couple of opportunities to play in LCS, bounced between tier 2, tier 1, but in his time in tier 1 hasn't really had that like big pop-off moment. But started off the year, Smite stealing a Baron from Inspired, you know, winning a team fight at an Elder, things like that. And now with a gold lead here, good start for Dignitas in a must-win series for them. Yeah,
trying to get some river control. Doesn't want to waste too much time down here, but the bot lane is their win condition, and Bvoy and Seos are kind of holding prio on this at the moment. Palafox walks straight over a control ward. Is going to have to clear that out. So it looks like Bvoy and Seos will sniff this one out and be able to stay safe in the bot lane.
Now the Dragon's on the Rift, though. Immediately I start thinking, who will have advantage around that one? Currently, Shopify Rebellion have that push on the bottom side, and Contractz is pathing down here, so they could have a window. Bvoy also hits level 6. Ults are available. Zinie pushes in the wave, and now everyone's coming towards his bottom
try and
side.
dive with Ryze Qiyana.
Yeah, damage onto FBI. He's already chunked out. Ryze Realm Warp can get the Qiyana under the turret fast, but now we see Zinie goes back into the mid lane. Meanwhile, a Bvoy throws out the Culling, big damage onto Ignar and FBI. The barriers are used, and now Contractz up the wall sees very low health bar on a level 5 Yunara. FBI and Ignar in a lot of trouble. Ignar will sniff it out, says okay. Contractz in the brush, still gets the kill. Supreme Display of Talent not gonna land. FBI now has the passive up with the W used, and he's all alone under this turret, but Shopify Rebellion will back away. That ult missing from Contractz calls the play off.
Yeah, you need to hit those. Likely could have secured another kill. Now they're going to lose the Drake. I think that was actually really risky what eXyu did there. His bot lane low, he shows mid, which is what allows Contractz to go for that gank. Doesn't get the kill mid, does burn Zinie's Ghost, and will now let him get the Drake once Contractz burns all his cooldowns. So overall, Dig is okay with this play, but it does put their bot lane in a continually difficult position.
FBI is falling further behind here. About a wave down, and still that kill for Bvoy means that he's got the Sheen completed as Ignar walks in, sees that Contractz is on this bottom camp.
Yeah, fine for a Jhin to fall behind, like last game for FBI, because you can always come back later in the game. Not as fine when it's a Yunara with an Enchanter that needs to be one of your hyper carries in the game. So FBI, on slim margins here, needs to be able to stay in this game as this call gets closer to completion.
Has level 6 available now, so can look to fight a little bit better. Once you have Transcend Oneself active, your abilities all get big boosts, but the wave is still pushing in. Meanwhile, eXyu, he's been focused on the objective, got the Dragon, now going for these, the grubs as well, so eXyu seems to be thinking that the gold lead for himself can now transition into the objective control.
I do like what you were talking about with eXyu before, though. I want to just get back to that, where you're saying he's had a couple of stints in the LCS and hasn't really had the success that he would love to have.
Let's come back to that there as, ooh, the knock-up lands from the ult, not from the bubble. FBI flashes away, and that is Lulu ult as well. Wild growth down, and FBI still almost died.
This is a caster trick. Every time we want action, we try and make a narrative point about eXyu, and then boom, something happens.
You know what? I'll keep that in mind for any future game. Do you think we can try it again? Does it work back-to-back? Try talking about eXyu now.
I'm going to wait.
You're going to wait? Okay. All right, fair enough.
I'm going to wait until we need more action. We just had some action. So the eXyu story is coming later.
Yeah, you got to have highs and lows. It's, you know, wave functions here. They're pushing in this wave, though, and it's showing that Bvoy is utilizing that gold advantage that he picked up. The Cole was sneaky from FBI, but it doesn't give you that many combat stats, and now Contractz is here, spotted on the vision.
Yep.
Warding the Tri-Brush. Bvoy and Seos trying to get this wave in.
Yeah, his whole jungle is clear, though, so part of that is just shadowing. Not at a big risk of dying himself currently.
And the Raptors just spawned for eXyu. Let's see if they want to go for a contest there. Nope. Instead, Contractz jumps over the Dragon Pit wall. We'll clear out a control ward here. That's a plate picked up for Shopify Rebellion's bot lane.
Yep, Sundered Sky being completed by eXyu as well. Going to want to take advantage of his power spike in this game.
Also, item completed from Contractz, though. So despite the fact that there was a double kill to eXyu early, Contractz is not that far behind, all things considered.
So eXyu,
yeah,
I feel like the pressure's on him a little bit. Previous splits, he's the rookie jungler. You want to give him time. He's kind of had the time now.
Yeah.
But then also, I'd say this year with Griffin popping off right away,
Kryra popping off,
and then even Kisno
yeah,
looked pretty good, who was an emergency sub who wasn't even scrimming with the SG. So there's almost this whole horde of young NA junglers that
the new wave is coming.
Have a lot of people saying like, okay, eXyu, you really need to step it up because there's clearly a pool of players that are ready to go in after you.
And right now he's going forward, has a Lulu behind him, but now Shopify are ready for the counterplay. Realm Orb and from Zinie flashes onto Ignar, trying to lock down the Lulu. And that time Supreme Display of Talent does land. eXyu chased further into his own jungle, and he's not going to escape. Double kill to Bvoy. FBI tries to jump away. Conway step. Bvoy does fall. Palafox comes in, the hero from the mid lane, as he will take down his enemy jungler. Contractz falls. The grudge match continues. Palafox turns the play.
The ultimate grudge match. Bull delivers again. Palafox now 2-0-1. That looked like it could have been the moment where Shopify blows the game open. They take down eXyu, they get more kills, but as everyone chased through, Palafox cleans up. So the beginning of this did start with eXyu trying to make an aggressive play, and they get his ult out early. So Zinie flies in, does a great job flashing the seismic shove at the very start, and now it's just, all right, let's go in. Is Palafox going to solo kill Zinie?
He almost just solo killed Zinie as we're looking at live. But
that would have been like double Palafox domination in both screens. Still kind of is, as he flies in at the end, gets the double kill, finishing off Contractz, and now denies Zinie a whole wave.
And now we have a 1v1 topside. Fudge goes all out onto Photon. Ultimate from Poppy, flash by Fudge! The outplay for Shopify's top laner.
Fudge is here in this game. That's an X factor when the top laners get abandoned for so long. If Fudge gets that little bit of gold injection, especially with FBI being far behind, he could just be an absolute brick in team fights.
Solid from Fudge, who had been having a tough series so far in the 1v1. Now we see eXyu yet again in the jungle. Pops the ultimate, trying to buy some time. Palafox is coming in here. Dignitas, they're backing up their jungler as FBI will get the kill onto Zinie. Shopify Rebellion thought that they could get onto eXyu there. And eXyu has the backup of the team, and the dragon is now started. Calling from Bvoy, big damage onto Ignar, some onto FBI.
So Contractz has his ultimate if he wants to contest this, but it is a temporary 3v4. Very low health on Ignar, though.
In comes Fudge. He's walking all the way from base. Same with Photon, so top laners will join shortly. Dragon at half health. Contractz looking to get in there. Supreme Display of Talent will land, but no dragon secured. Contractz goes down. eXyu gets the dragon. His team gets the kill. And Dignitas hold the line yet again. Bvoy now sped up by Seos, but now Seos left out to dry. The Nami will fall. Palafox still peppering Bvoy. Won't land the seismic shove. Bvoy sidesteps that one, but the ward goes down, and he gets the threaded volleys over the wall. Palafox with another kill.
Palafox is absolutely smurfing on Shopify Rebellion this game. 4 kills now on the Taliyah, just owning the river and the chase down in these fights. Zinie's in the dirt, 1,500 gold down. FBI is actually ahead of the Bvoy Lucian now. We're gonna watch this one more time. I mean, it's a difficult contest in the first place. 3v4. Qiyana is strong in river, gets the stun and the wall on both FBI and Palafox, but who is actually going to follow up? It's a Lucian Nami with no Lucian ult, so that ultimate is useless in this context. Now everyone's exposed, and it's an easy chase down for the rest of Dignitas.
And then Palafox with the kill at the very end. An incredible performance from the mid laner, who we talked about the grudge match because of this.
Ksante here, nice.
Nice. You wanna get mid?
Got some comms listening, but the all-out from Fudge will get a shutdown onto Palafox. Caster curses are real. Right as we're talking about it, he is shut down.
Grudge match goes both ways. Fudge now, 1,500 gold himself, going to be able to also collect a bunch of turret plates because nobody can cover that wave. So a very poor death in terms of timing from Palafox there. We didn't see exactly how it started, but you could see the reaction from Palafox on the screen right afterwards. Definitely knows how bad for the game that last death was.
A lot of the gold for his team is in his pockets. Let's get a look at that, though.
Yeah.
Oh, so he starts
Ksante in, and then, yep, That is Ksante right now.
You just got Ksante.
Yeah,
okay.
Q2, Q3, right over the wall. Really well played by Fudge, seeing the kill angle.
You know
had the Iceborne Gauntlet already.
I'm on Palafox's side on that one. I feel like that's a tough moment. Be like, wait, I died? Wait, that's crazy. Yeah. I hit everything on him.
Flip the Ksante away always.
Yeah,
is the lesson.
Fair enough, fair enough. But now Fudge is the only gold lead for Shopify Rebellion. There's a 1,000 gold lead for Dignitas as they'll start up this Herald. And you can see that it is Fudge for Shopify Rebellion. Like, that is the only advantage that they have in this game right now.
Yeah, the gold on the junglers is completely even. I think a lot of it will also come down to how Contractz can pilot the Qiyana in team fights. It hasn't looked like he's super comfortable on the champion in team fights so far, but that's also because they're not playing with the true frontline. Every play has been around like Lucian, Nami, Ryze. When the Ksante is able to enter and maybe create some space so the Contractz can find flanks rather than just trying to run like face first into the enemy, they'll have a better chance.
Having a big health bar to walk forward, tank all those threaded volleys, push back the Xin Zhao so that it's not the Qiyana taking up all that damage would feel great. But Shopify Rebellion have to put themselves in that position. 2 minutes until the next Dragon. Maybe that's when they choose to do just that. Because currently it's Fudge in the top lane, and Palafox is actually answering him as Bvoy goes for a little trade there onto FBI. He jumps away from the bubble, still knocked up by the Nami ult, which will get the wild growth out. So support for support ultimate and AD carry for AD carry ultimate. eXyu drops the Herald mid lane. Contractz is hovering, but Bvoy just got chunked out. As now eXyu flashes in, gets the kill. Talk about turning heads. eXyu's doing that right now. What a showing from the young jungler of Dignitas.
I was gonna say, of course, it's Ignar who flies face first into the turret inside the Herald. That is his style, regardless of the champion that he is playing. But eXyu having a really nice Xin game here. Multiple kills of him just flying in onto Bvoy's Lucian and not having, Bvoy just has no answer.
Yeah, and I gotta say, going into this series, Photon had been the only player on Dignitas that had really impressed me. Not to Palafox, who'd had better laning phase than we saw last year, but this is Dignitas where everybody is doing their job. FBI had a monster carry last game and is coming back in this game despite a rough early game. Palafox is having a great carry game. eXyu's having a great game. Like, the magic seems to be clicking for Dignitas right now. And one thing I'll also say about them, talking to their GM, Jonathan, who his whole philosophy this year is be super transparent, talk about the team, be open in content. He said that one of the things he's most impressed with the team so far is that they have not lost mental. Even though that they were winless, the vibes are still good. They still enjoy playing together. And I think we're starting to see the benefits of that type of team environment and that type of mentality.
Well, the loser of this game will have 2 months to recover their mental, recover their mental, because Split 2 won't start for 2 months and the loser is out. But there's a fight here in the river.
eXyu's walking forward. Dragon's up in 10 seconds, so we're at the point to scrap for this one. Dignitas have mid lane push, and Shopify Rebellion are trying to keep them away from the river here. Controlling the banana brushes. FBI is getting some big damage onto Seos and onto Fudge. Has to use the W to get away. Zinie, meanwhile, flashing away. Photon thought he had an angle onto the wall right there. Zinie does burn the summoner spell to keep himself safe. As Dignitas now, no worry on flash from the Ryze. They're going to just walk forward onto the banana bush, clear out the vision. One more ward down, clear that one. Dignitas have taken some control.
Yeah, really nice reaction by Zinie to avoid that flash stun. That could have been a fight decider. Fudge also at half health on the outside, so even though he has a 2-level advantage on the Poppy, not stronger.
Also no flash on him, so Contractz might just have to be the one to do it yet again. Dragon at about 3/4 health. FBI will spot out Contractz, goes invisible. And Ignar's behind FBI. Now the turn here as eXyu jumps in onto Fudge. Ksante is the target. Photon's trying to buy some space as well. Fudge will use eXyu as his escape tool, trying to trade it back. eXyu still alive! eXyu takes down Contractz, gets the dragon, and Dignitas are slaughtering the rebels in the fight. Zinie can't even realm warp the safety. Double kill to FBI, and Dignitas ace Shopify Rebellion.
They absolutely wipe Shopify off the map here. All 5 dead, and it did look a little out of sync. Remember, Taliyah ult down, Poppy ult hits nothing, but nothing can actually do damage to eXyu. He's sitting on that ultimate, and everyone is so short range that the damage doesn't really fly through. He gets huge heals and shields from the Lulu. His passive auto heals come in at just the right moment, and because everything was just used on eXyu, by the way, there's a Lulu Yunara free hitting the whole time. So Dignitas just completely run the game now.
Bye-bye, Shopify.
This is for Christian, baby.
Hell yeah.
This is for Christian. This is for the ultimate Grudge match.
And we're getting Palafox for a post-match interview if
he's gonna have some things to say.
He had a lot to say on pros before anything happened, and that is the Grudge match. And there's so many connections between these players because Palafox, FBI, Ignar were also part of the original NRG title team, right? And then parts of that team moved over to Shopify, Contractz, Palafox. FBI even had time with Huhi. There was just a whole bunch of different iterations of this combos. But this one specifically, Palafox last year, and the other 4 people staying on Shopify, everyone's saying that Zinie was going to be the fix to their problems when actually maybe Palafox was the glue holding things together.
You know what?
Which is just a crazy change to this narrative, Kangas. But that's what's going to happen if this 2-0 ends up the way it is looking.
You know, given recent news, sometimes it's better to grow separately. You know, sometimes when you're with that same partner for 4 years, you need to take a step back. Okay, we were able to get back. Palafox, he's out of there.
He's blessed today.
He is.
It's a blessed day for Palafox.
But sometimes you just need to move on and try a new environment, try a different team, try a different jungler here. Palafox looking much, much better with eXyu against Contractz and his new mid laner, because that was the big question, and that was part of my expectation. I think, you know what, if I have some time to talk about the expectations about Shopify Rebellion, because they might just go winless here as we actually get a replay. Oh, Contractz even flashed for that. Ooh.
He knows he got away with one there.
All right, that's a good chuckle.
I have a graphic for expectations. Is this what you're talking about?
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. So I want to talk about the Shopify Rebellion expectations that I had, because I had them as my #1 team for 2 primary reasons. Number 1, I thought a top 3 finishing team with the best offseason pickup. I was looking at a player like Zinie and what he was able to do in LCK Challengers. I was very excited for this guy. His champ pool of 22 unique champions. MVP back-to-back in 2024 against people like Saint and Loki. And then also I thought the rest of the league got a little worse, but Shopify, they have not been finding success, as now Bvoy's caught in the mid lane here. Seos cannot keep his AD carry alive. Fudge even teleports in, and now he might be in some trouble here. FBI's hitting the turret, hitting the top laner, knock him down. Photon with the kill credit and a killing spree. Dignitas looking to give Shopify Rebellion a winless split 1 in the LCK lock-in tournament. Dignitas, they have all members strong here. They're still pushing mid.
I mean, they might try and end here.
Yeah, I mean, they might as well. Who needs a Baron? Poppy ult back to the Qiyana. Everyone's on the turrets. Shopify Rebellion were not expecting this. And I don't think most of the league was either. Dignitas looking to make magic happen again with a back-to-back game win against Shopify Rebellion right here.
All right, turret's 1 hit away. They'll probably finish the turret and then look to fight a 5v4. Instead, they say we're 7,000 gold up. The only way we throw is if we try and kill the Nexus, and they back away.
Incredible reserve from Dignitas right there. They get the kill on the Bvoy, they get the kill on the Fudge, and they decimate the base. That's a threat of a health bar left on that last Nexus turret. And I think Dignitas, we can confidently say at this point, Palafox won in this breakup.
Yeah, 30 seconds until Soul, which they'll be going for right now. Last chance for Shopify to stay in lock-in tournament. eXyu's going in.
Goes in, Crescent Guard used, onto Seos, gets the knockup. Not able to kill the Nami though, but in comes Palafox, has the stasis as well. Supreme Display Time only hits Ignar. They got Seos. Bvoy has no Nami in his pocket. Fudge is the target. Dignitas are doing it. Photon on a rampage. Zinie retreating all the way back to base. But with 2 dead on Shopify Rebellion, you have to imagine this is the series winning push. This is Dignitas saying, doubters be damned. Expectations mean nothing. It's about the performance on the Rift. Dignitas will kill Shopify in their own base. Dignitas will upset the team power ranked higher. Dignitas will show that it's about the heart of the players, and they will win this elimination series.
Dignitas eliminate Shopify from LCS lock-in. That also means that at the end of the day, to make it to playoffs, Dig will play a best of 1 against Team Liquid, which is also unexpected. And spam chat now to tell us who you think is the player of the game. And I was calling it the Palafox Bowl because of the ultimate Grudge match that we had. Lounge, what do you guys think?
We think we have a winner! Yes, the Grudge match bowl! Decidedly Palafox, the winner of it. I like the comms listening too, and Ignor's like, this one's for Christian!
Yeah, that was great. And I like that the cast pointed out all of the other, because obviously we were talking about Contractz and Palafox for the longest standing mid-jungle duo in LCS history for the time that they were together. But there's a lot of old like CLG, NRG connections between these two teams, with FBI and Ignar reuniting on this Dignitas team with Palafox. So.
And Palafox for the past 3 weeks has really been